and you feel your swimmers are ready to step up onto the block, I think it's a smart transition to go to a frog dive in a track position off the starting block. Sometimes it depends on the height of your gutter that you're working off of. Sometimes if you have a low deck, stepping up to the blocks is pretty intimidating for swimmers that have not done it very often or maybe never done it before. So I like to have our swimmers step up and continue a drill that they were doing and have them do a frog dive from a stick 'em up position to about a 7 on the target to give them the feeling of going through the air, setting their target, dropping their head down into their arms, looking back for the feet. Hands up, stick 'em up position, and let's shoot to a 7 and glide through the hole with a strong streamline. And go. I think on the frog dive off of the block, it's best to start them right out in the track position because that's the position they're going to want to use on their dive. And again, we assume the position. Getting the balance on the block versus on the deck is very important as well. Brian's done a great job of assuming that position, getting himself in a good anchored position. Let's pop the hands up, stick them up to a 7, and go. You may have noticed on that dive, Brian went a little bit deep. I'm going to ask him to try that again and move his hands out a little bit. Making adjustments for your swimmers is critical when it comes to drilling the dives, which we always drill in the deep end, before we get over to doing the dives in probably a more shallow starting end of a competitive pool. To help accommodate that, there are a couple different things we can do. We're going to ask Brian to move that target out so he's a little more open on the entry. Also, when his ribs get in the water on this dive, I'm going to ask him to lean up against the water or slightly lean back. That will still allow him to stay in the hole, continue a strong streamline, but it will angle him up to the surface in preparation for a great breakout. We're going to ask Brian to shoot an 8 or 9 on this to see if we can get him to go a little more shallow. Also, when his ribs go in, we're going to ask him to just lean up against the surface of the water slightly. Ready? Go.